Welcome to the Roy Snarr Show, entrepreneurship and giving back. Now, here's your host, Roy Snarr.
The owner or CEO has to be kind of a model for the whole team. So I wake up every single morning at 5. I've done this every single day for the last 14 years. I send out a daily email that goes out to 28,000 journalists and gives them story tips. And so all of the team members see the boss waking up at 5 in the morning. And I think it sets a standard. It's like, okay, even Crilley is not just sitting out by the pool.
With the margarita, you know?
I mean, he's out there hustling every single day.
Yeah.
And it sets a tone for the entire company.
That's amazing. You just ask yourself, would you hire you for the same salary? Like, you know, I've checked myself sometimes, like, okay, would I hire myself? I'm like, I better start doing a little bit better at some of these things. You have to keep checking yourself, especially as the owner or the lead entrepreneur.
And know what your gifts are. So I know what my gifts are. I think I have a pretty good visionary quality. I'm really good at the media relations thing. I'm pretty good at broadcasting. But the things I'm not good at, I know nothing about the technology. So honestly, the joke in our main offices in Dallas is, if Crilley is coming by, it's usually to say, hey, Ziggy, can you punch a couple of buttons for me? Because I don't know how to turn on our computers. And that's okay. I don't need to. I hire a bunch of brilliant people who are much more talented at this stuff than I am.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing something that's amazing, and that a lot of people have a hard time with. And you know, on the business side of things, it's delegating what you are not good at. You should be spending all your time on what you are good at, and then delegating the rest. Like, for example, like Ziggy does the editing for my show. Because I mean, could I do it? No, because I don't want to, and two, I don't have that natural ability. It's not what I'm good at. I'm good at just kind of like what you're doing. You know, love talking with people and interacting, but I don't want to do the nitty gritty splicing and cutting of technology or other types of things. And so fortunately, we have team members that they absolutely love it. They're passionate about it. I think they're crazy, but I need them too. So that's awesome. Like, you love this, go ahead and do that. And you treat them right, pay them fairly. You build that culture. They're not going to leave. And that's how you actually build a massive company. Like you said, Apple, one of its successes is its very tight culture. We have a lot of clients that work at Apple, and they love it. Nobody that I've ever experienced complains at working at Apple. They absolutely love working there.
That's awesome. So my advice to anybody who's thinking about quitting their day job and getting into the world of entrepreneurship is, ask yourself, get real honest with yourself. Are you cut out to be an entrepreneur? Not every single person on the planet is cut out to be an entrepreneur. If the idea of getting a steady paycheck every day allows you to sleep well at night, there's some beauty to working a 9-to-5 and then leaving at 5 o'clock and knowing that I've got nothing but personal time. If you do think you're cut out to be an entrepreneur, I would say there's an old saying, you can't steal second with 1 foot on first, but you should probably take a little bit of a lead off. And the lead off is start a side hustle. Put your baby toe in the water. Just see if the concept that you have, if there's a market for it. Because I know a lot of people who will, you talk about this, they'll cash out their 401k plan, they'll put it all on red. I'm sure there's a need for this. And then the next thing you know, they've gone through their retirement funds. So, stick your toe in the water, make sure that there's a market for it, make sure that you're fairly priced, make sure that you're offering a solution to a problem that truly exists, and not just one that's in your own mind.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. I mean, we tell a lot of agents, or people that get their insurance license. That's where our experience is. They'll say, "I'm going to hop in full time." Like, no, don't. It takes time. Please don't do that. You have a mortgage. You get a wife and kids. So you start slowly. You give it time. And what I tell them is look, give up your evenings. And if you have a family, I totally understand the time. So maybe it's 2 or 3 nights a week that you completely give up. You dedicate to the practice. You get up a couple hours earlier. Are you going to be tired? Yeah, so what? Who cares? What do you want more? You want to be successful and be a little bit tired, or be well rested and be the same the next 10 years? You just have to make that choice, right?
Wow, that's great.
And what I always tell people is look, you're going to have to give up 5 years of your life to make anything worthwhile. By giving up 5 years of your life, we're talking about time sacrifice. In the evenings, taking time away from your kids, unfortunately, maybe giving up a Saturday, doing early mornings. But is that worth having the rest of your life of total freedom and you being in control? And for some people, it's not. Not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, those are some of the things you have to build in your mind. Don't think it's going to happen overnight.
Absolutely. Yeah. And go for it. I mean, like you said earlier in the show, Nobody is on their deathbed wishing that they had done this or that.
Right.
They're really thinking about the stuff that they should have done
exactly
when they were too busy doing something else.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what drives me. It's not a driver for everybody. Also, kids, right?
Yeah.
I want my kids to look up like, man, Dad's a badass. Like, look how cool he is. Look what he's done. Look what he's built. So those are my reasons why. I'm kind of a selfless person. Like, I love and care about myself, but it's like I'm doing it not just for me. It's all about them.
Yes.
When I'm tired and I get up, I look at a picture of my family. I'm like, okay, I got to do it for them, right? I mean, I want to make the difference. I want to be the one in my family that just completely knocks it out of the park, and the kids go, wow, you know what? Look at everything that Dad's done. That way it gives them a better chance. And that's how you change generational wealth and how you change generational mindsets.
Yes. And I think your kiddos, even though they're relatively young, they're modeling you right now. They're seeing how hard Dad works. So you're setting a great example.
Oh, it's so super fun too. Like we have business class together with them. And I'll literally have they have this easel that they paint on, and it has a whiteboard, and we'll draw out things like, okay, here's how an insurance policy works, and the more people you have, the more what you have. Money. Yeah, that's right. And we draw it all out. So, and we do affirmations every morning with them too. Like, I'm confident, I'm successful, I'm strong, I'm tough. Like just completely ingraining them, because the first few years of a child's life, they're just literally downloading everything. So that's another thing to think about too. What are you talking about in the house? Are you complaining? Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Is that what your children are downloading? Because then they're going to inherit that and have those same traits. So you need to help change that as well. And speaking of change, a lot of the things that we do to give back is through charitable donations.
Sure.
One of them is 1040 Impact, where we help rescue girls in Pakistan that are being trafficked, and we provide housing, shelter, everything. Michael D. Butler, that's his program.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we help with them. We help other local places here in Austin, veterans. And so that's one of the big pieces too. If you can create something that's larger than yourself, then not only will your team appreciate that, they'll see a bigger vision, a bigger goal. Because if they're going to stick with you and not leave you for $1 more an hour somewhere, you got to sell that vision to them and say, hey, look, we are a part of something much larger. Look at the impact that we're making on all these other people's lives through what we're doing, this hard work, this person that hangs up the phone, the contracting paperwork. It's all worth it, because look what we get to give back. In the bigger picture. So maybe you can share with us a little bit more about what you do as an entrepreneur to give back to the community.
So, I do my Jeff Crilley show sometimes as many as 3 or 4 times a day.
Wow.
And I would say 1 out of 4 shows is a give back show. It's they're not designed to do anything more than put a spotlight on a nonprofit that needs a spotlight. And if you think about the traditional media, traditional media, even on a morning show interview, only has about 3 minutes to interview a nonprofit. To be able to put a nonprofit on my show for 15, 20 minutes, that's awesome. A big spotlight. And and then after we finish the show, they own it. So they can put it on their website, they can share across their social media channels. And
that's amazing. So you're using the years and years, since 2008 of building this platform, and now you have this awesome distribution platform. And think about it this way as relatability, like Apple has the iTunes store, right? It's a platform that you can buy apps from it. So, Jeff has built a media platform that people can come on to, like myself or even yourself. And then he'll allow nonprofits to come on there and use his channel as a distribution method to help spread the word, which is just awesome that you give up your time to do that. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you and be on the Jeff Crilley Show, how does that work?
So our main podcasting website is launchashow.com, and there's a contact form there. So just subject line Jeff Crilley Show guest, and it'll get to me, and would love to talk to you about coming on the show.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if you think of it, if you're able to get onto the Jeff Crilley Show, he has a massive distribution platform. You should connect with him on LinkedIn and other social media outlets just to see his reach. And don't be scared either. Just reach out and see if you can get onto the show. Maybe it's not right now, but maybe you can get on in the future. Just reach out, make a difference, do something, get out of your comfort zone. And if you're anywhere in the Texas Metroplex area, I say Texas Metroplex, but Austin or Dallas, and you want to have your own show, reach out to Jeff Crilley's team. Especially here in Austin, this is a beautiful location. There's so many people here. If you're in Dallas, go up there, stay in the loop, build a relationship, and just change something today to make something different for tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining the Roy Starr Show. We appreciate you, and we'll see you again.